You wake up exhausted. You look in the mirror and see someone who did everything right. You studied, you got the job, you pay the bills, you follow the rules society laid out for you. Yet, there is a heavy, silent emptiness in your chest. You feel like you are running at full speed, but haven't moved a single inch. You think you are just tired. You are not tired. You are trapped in an invisible prison you helped build. Every morning, you trade your most valuable asset, your time, for a sense of false security. You sit in traffic. You sit at a desk. You nod at people you do not respect. You convince yourself that this is just how life works. You tell yourself that everyone else is doing it, so it must be normal. But normal is just a word used to keep the masses quiet. Normal is the slow death of your true potential. Look closely at your days. They blur together. Monday becomes Friday, and the weekend is just a brief, desperate gasp for air before you are pushed back underwater. You are not living, you are simply maintaining your own captivity. Society designed this loop to be comfortable enough so you don't rebel, but exhausting enough so you don't have the energy to escape. They feed you small rewards to keep you marching in line, completely blind to the cage. The most dangerous prisons do not have iron bars. They are built with monthly paychecks, social expectations, and the fear of standing out. You are terrified of what will happen if you step off the path. So you swallow your frustration and keep walking. But deep down, that quiet voice is screaming. It knows you are capable of building an empire, yet you are settling for a small, comfortable cell. It is time to listen to that voice. You have a word that is destroying your future. Someday, I will start that business. Someday, I will focus on myself. Someday, I will finally break free. This word is a psychological painkiller. It numbs the agony of your current inaction. It allows you to feel good about your dreams without requiring you to bleed for them today. You use someday to lie to yourself, to excuse your lack of discipline and your fear of immediate failure. But someday never comes. It is a ghost. While you are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect energy, or the perfect amount of money, time is ruthlessly slipping through your fingers. The people who control this world do not wait for someday. They execute today. They understand that the present moment is the only reality. By pushing your ambitions into a fictional future, you are silently consenting to remain exactly where you are right now. You think you have time. This is the greatest illusion of all. You calculate your life in decades, assuming you have an endless supply of tomorrows. But watch how quickly a year passes. Watch how fast your 20s become your 30s. Every time you delay your true work, you are disrespecting the limited time you have been given. The universe does not reward potential. It only rewards ruthless, undeniable action. You must stop waiting to be saved. Realize this brutal truth. No one is coming to save you. No one cares about your unfulfilled potential. Society actually prefers you this way: diesel, dreaming, and passive. If you want to break the cycle, you must brutally murder the concept of someday. You must look at your life with absolute, cold honesty and admit that if you do not force the change right now, you will die with your greatest work still trapped inside of you. To understand why you are stuck, you must look at your evenings. When the heavy workday ends, what do? You collapse. You reach for your phone. You scroll through endless feeds, watching other people live, create, and conquer. You consume cheap dopamine to numb the pain of your own stagnation. You think you are relaxing, but you are actually bleeding out. You are giving your last remaining drops of mental energy to the glowing screen. This is not an accident. The system is perfectly engineered to steal your focus. Every notification, every endless scroll is a highly calculated attack on your attention span. They want you distracted. A distracted mind cannot build an empire. A mind addicted to cheap, instant gratification will never endure the brutal friction required to create something of true value. You are trading your destiny for short, meaningless hits of pleasure. You are a digital slave. You must see these distractions for what they really are, weapons used against you. Every hour you spend consuming useless content is an hour stolen from your legacy. You complain that you do not have the time or energy to build your own life, yet you spend hours staring at the lives of strangers. It is pathetic. You must develop a profound disgust for your own lack of control. Disgust is a powerful catalyst for immediate change. The elite minds of this world operate differently. They do not consume, they produce. They lock themselves away from the noise. They understand that boredom and silence are the ultimate forges of greatness. If you cannot sit in a quiet room with your own thoughts without reaching for a distraction, you have already lost the war. You must starve your addictions. You must lock away the cheap dopamine and force yourself to face the heavy, necessary work. The turning point requires a radical shift. You must initiate the protocol of isolation. People fear being alone because it forces them to look at their own failures. Society tells you that you must be connected, available, and social at all times. This is a trap. Connection with the wrong people is a drain on your life force. You must begin to cut the cords. You must become completely unreachable to the things that do not serve your mission. This is not about anger. It is about cold, calculating architecture. A builder cannot construct a skyscraper in the middle of a chaotic crowd. You need a walled perimeter. You must look at your social circles, your habits, and your commitments with the eyes of an executioner. If a person or an activity does not push you forward, it is pulling you backward. There is no neutral ground. Sever the ties. Embrace the brutal power of saying no. When you finally isolate yourself, something terrifying happens. The noise stops, and in that heavy silence, you are left alone with your excuses. There is no boss to blame, no traffic to complain about, no digital noise to hide behind. It is just you and the raw, unpolished stone of your potential. This silence will feel crushing at first, but you must not run from it. You must let it break down your weak societal programming. In the absolute dark of isolation, you will find your true baseline. You will stop performing for others. You will stop caring about their shallow judgments. The cold architect is born in this silence. You realize that your energy is finite and sacred. By locking out the world, you create a pressurized chamber where true discipline can finally take root. You stop surviving the day and start plotting your empire. Isolation is your ultimate fortress. Now that you are in the quiet, you will feel the friction. The work is hard. Building a business, mastering a skill, changing your physique. It all requires suffering. You have been taught to avoid pain at all costs, but the cold architect knows the dark truth. Pain is the only currency that buys greatness. Comfort is a slow poison. You must stop running from the suffering and learn to actively weaponize it against your own weakness. Look at the heavy, exhausting hours of your day. Do not pity yourself. Use the frustration. When you wake up tired, use that anger as fuel. Let the disgust of your current situation drive you to work harder. The pain of discipline is sharp, but it builds the foundation. The pain of regret is dull, and it lasts a lifetime. You must choose your pain wisely. Force yourself into the fire, because the fire is where you are forged. Every time you push through a barrier when you want to quit, you are killing the weak version of yourself. This is a deliberate, calculated assassination. You must become addicted to the resistance. When the task feels too heavy, that is the exact moment you must not stop. That is where the transformation happens. Amateurs stop when they are tired. Professionals stop when the mission is accomplished. You must demand absolute, uncompromising excellence from yourself. This is the architecture of suffering. You take the raw, chaotic pain of existence and you mold it into a sharp, focused weapon. You do not complain about the load. You build broader shoulders. The masses are crying about how unfair the world is. Let them cry. While they are complaining, you are quietly working in the dark, laying brick by brick. You are converting your daily exhaustion into an undeniable, towering monument of your own willpower. The blueprint is now laid out before you. You know exactly what is keeping you trapped, and you know the brutal price of freedom. The time for learning is over. The time for planning is over. Now, there is only execution. You must draw a violent line in the sand between who you were yesterday and who you must be today. No more negotiations with your weaker self. The rules have changed. The era of excuses is officially dead. Tonight, when the world goes to sleep, your true shift begins. You will not seek comfort. You will turn off the screens. You will sit in the cold silence, and you will face the work. It will be unglamorous. It will be tedious. But every action you take in the dark is a brick placed in the foundation of your new reality. You are no longer a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your destiny. Do not look for immediate results. That is the mindset of a slave expecting a daily wage. You are building an empire, and empires take time. Trust the cold, mechanical process. Let the days stack up. Let the discipline compound. When you feel nothing, execute. When you are motivated, execute. When the world is falling apart around you, execute. Your emotions are irrelevant to the mission. Only the undeniable physical results of your actions actually matter. Welcome to Zenith Construct. We have burned the bridge to the normal life, and we do not look back at the ashes. We do not seek approval, and we do not dilute our cold discipline to make it easier for the weak to swallow. If you are finally ready to murder your social programming, weaponize your daily suffering, and become a ghost in their system of cheap dopamine, subscribe now. Join the architecture of the unreachable. Stop living their lie. Let the era of the cold architect officially begin. Keep building in the dark.